You know, one topic I get a lot of emails about is Cerakoting slides or Duracoating slides. Well, I don't ever use Duracoat, but I have Cerakoted some small parts before, like magazine releases or cylinder releases, you know, things like that, just a trigger or a hammer here or there. But I've never actually Cerakoted a slide, which surprises a lot of people because they know how meticulous I am about the condition of my guns. So you would think that being able to refinish them is something that I would want to be well versed at. But to be honest, like I say, I've just never really done it. Don't carry a lot of blued guns or black guns. And when I do, you know, if it's going to carry, I don't worry too much about the finish until I'm not carrying it anymore, then I want to repair it. But I thought, since people ask me about it all the time, and I got a very specific question about Cerakoting something today, I'd go ahead and Cerakote the slide to my new SIG P229RX. I've never been really crazy about the black finish on the slides of the SIGs. It just doesn't look black to me. It looks gray. It looks like it's got a black frame and a gray top. And if I wanted it to be two-tone, I would just bead blast this down and make it stainless steel, since this is a stainless steel slide. So since I don't like the color of it too much, I thought this would be the perfect gun to just Cerakote black. And that other question I wanted to address that I just got was concerning the sights. I got a very specific question about refinishing this slide or a slide that has night sights like this. They asked, do you need to take the night sights off? Or can you just tape them off, spray the slide, and then bake it? Because you have to bake these finishes at like 300 degrees for half an hour, depending on which one it is. Now I myself am using Wheeler's Cerama-Coat. I've used this on small parts, and so far it seems to wear very well. Haven't had any problem with wear on any of the parts that I have coated. And you know, this one bakes, like I said before, for about 30 minutes at 300 degrees. So the actual question is, will these sights hold up to 300 degrees for 30 minutes? Now I guess that's going to depend on what the little vials are made out of. If they're glass, they should be fine, unless there's like some sort of adhesive holding them in there that gives way. But as long as they're glass and not plastic, they should be fine. If they're plastic, they could possibly melt. But since I think they're glass, what I'm going to do, since I was asked this question, is I'm going to Cerakote this slide, and I'm not going to take the sights off. I'm just going to tape them off and Cerakote the slide. So we will see then if the sights make it through or not. Now the first thing I have to do is just take this all apart so that I can spray down the slide. First I'll take off the RX sight. I'm hoping these two screws that I can see are the only two screws, because if there's other ones I can't see them, and I've never taken one of these off before. So hopefully it's going to be as easy as it looks, but when is anything ever as easy as it looks? Oh, I guess that's as easy as it looks. And you know, since I am not taking the sights off, I'm going to save myself a little time and effort here. And I'm not going to take out the extractor. I'm just going to tape it off too, because I don't think the heat's going to hurt the extractor at all. It's just a metal spring under there. So I'm just going to tape off the extractor, tape off the sights, give this all a nice little coat of Cerakote. I'm not going to strip it down first. I want to see how well the Cerakote will work over the actual finish that's already on there. Because if you have to be able to bead blast the slide to put the Cerakote on, that's going to make it to where a lot of people can't do it. So I want to test the Cerakote with the finish being left on. I'm just going to clean this really well and then tape it off, and then we'll spray it down. And we'll give it a first cleaning here, and then I'm going to go over it again with some gloves on, because you want to make sure you got rubber gloves or something on when you're doing this, because you don't want to just be putting grease back on it with your fingers as you're cleaning it off. Now I'm not too worried about screwing this up, because I'm not worried about the finish being perfect on this, because I'm liable to bead blast this down anyway to make it two-tone, because the Punisher symbol in the grips is a shiny silver. It's actual silver. It's not stainless steel, and it's shiny. So I was thinking maybe bead blasting this down to a stainless finish, or maybe even polishing it up to a high gloss stainless just to match the skull. That would make it very flashy. But you know me, I'm flashy. Okay, I've got the sights taped off, everything taped off that I don't want to spray. I've got it on a little coat hanger here. I'm going to take it out and give it a spritz with the air compressor, which you can probably hear running in the background, just to blow off any loose fuzz or anything off of it. And then I will give it a couple of coats of the actual Cerama-Coat. That was weird how I pronounced that. Okay, I've got it all back together. And not only do I have it all back together, I've actually taken it to the range since you last saw it. And the finish held up pretty good. Hasn't completely burnt off yet. In fact, don't see any damage from today's shooting. I do see some grease and stuff here, oil actually leaking out. But other than that, looks pretty good. I will actually have to say that it's easy to do this finish. It's easy to put it on, and it looks just as good, if not better, than the original finish, if you ask me, because it's an actual black. Now, how tough of a finish it will be, only time will tell. One day at the range isn't going to tell me whether this finish is going to hold up or not. I'll have to put it in and out of a holster a couple of dozen times before I actually see how it's going to hold up to holster wear. But here's the thing. This was so easy, and it's so cheap that if you wanted to every 2 weeks strip your slide off and recoat it, you could easily do it. Because, like I said, super simple and not expensive. That one little can, I think, was like, I don't know. I don't have any clue how much it was, but I know they're not expensive. They're like 15 bucks or 20 bucks or so for that can, and I have coated a lot of small parts, some barrels, and everything else with it, and done this slide, and it still feels like it's full. So I have a feeling I'm going to get quite a few slides out of just one can if I want to. So cheap to do, easy to do. You can do this all the time. It does look so much better, if you ask me, than it did originally, because it doesn't have that gray look to it now. So I think I might hold off on two-toning this gun for now. But, you know, we'll see. I might end up two-toning it eventually. But for now, this, like I said, looks better, was easy to do, and it should be easy to maintain, so I'm going to keep it for a while. One thing I will have to say, though, even though I didn't have to take the sights off, and I just took this off, just undid this and took it off the red dot sight, when I put it back on, completely out of whack. Wasn't in any way aligned anymore. I don't know if these things default or something when you take them off the gun. But when I put it back after having not messed with these sights at all and not messed with the adjustments on it at all, it was completely out of whack. So keep that in mind. But if you're someone who wants to maintain the finish on your gun, wants it to look good, even if you're going to carry it all the time, this right here, that was Wheeler's Cerama-Coat that I was using, if everyone remembers when I showed them earlier. The Wheeler's Cerama-Coat, like I said, makes this so quick and easy to do that you might as well just do it every now and then and keep your gun looking brand new. Oh, and I forgot to tell y'all, one of the main things we were going to see is if the night sights made it through. The night sights are perfect. Nothing happened to them. They made it through fine, and they're just as bright as they ever were. So it looks like doing this process also does not damage the night sights, so you can just tape them off. You don't actually have to take them off. So that right there, that's a good thing also.